Hello and welcome to One Word Podcast, the most, what was that word again? Podcast that you've ever heard. Are you ready to begin? My guest today is Lindsay Dorf. Hi.
Hi.
It's very weird to call you Lindsay.
Yeah, it's weird to hear it.
You were my 8th grade language arts teacher.
This is correct.
And I'm sorry.
I will accept it. All these years later, I will take it, Jacob.
I still haven't done that report on The Giver, so.
Hey, your loss, man. That's an awesome book.
It is. I read it. I just didn't do the work on it, so. My bad.
Yeah. I forgive you, officially.
All right, now I get to have my revenge for a full year of homework and sitting there and trying not to fall asleep. So you're going to have to try it.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Now it's your turn to try and not fall asleep. All right, so the way this works is I have 2 completely randomly generated words, and you're going to have to choose one of these 2 words, and that's going to be the subject of our podcast.
All right. I
Okay?
like it.
A lot of improv. It's going to be fun. Maybe some puns. Who knows? We have no idea how this podcast is going to end. That's the fun part about it.
All right.
Sometimes they're really serious. Sometimes they're really stupid.
Okay. Low bar. I can handle that then. Yeah.
The bar's always set low. Don't worry. All right. Are you ready for your words?
I think so. Yes.
Your words are ballet and graffiti.
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 That one's jumping out at me. All right.
All right. So, you're choosing graffiti.
Oh, it seems like a bad
Or
choice,
are you
but I'm
choosing
gonna go
ballet?
for it.
All right, you're going to go for it?
Yes, I'll go for graffiti.
Okay. Why not ballet? Do you just not like ballet?
I like ballet very much, but I don't know. I think there was less to talk about with ballet for me.
Have you ever done ballet?
You're gonna do the opposite? Is that the trick?
No.
I'm just talk about ballet because I picked graffiti.
I'm just trying to get in your psyche. So,
No, I like ballet, and growing up, I had a couple of my best friends who were ballerinas, so I think of them when I think of ballet. But I don't know how much it gives me to talk about.
all right. So we're going to talk about the word I choose, and that's going to be tuna.
Okay,
No, we're talking about graffiti.
I'll roll with it. Graffiti of tuna? I don't know. Does that exist somewhere?
It could. Just a little tuna fish with a tutu on. There we go.
Yeah, I think it's a good image.
It's
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, can be your new icon for your podcast.
Maybe. I'm going to have our graphic designer do that for the thumbnail for this podcast episode.
There you go. You're welcome.
Yep. Making some work for it. All right. So what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the term graffiti?
Think of rebellion.
Rebellion.
Yeah, like graffiti, it's art, which is something that people tend to really like, and they think of it as a good thing. But then you think of it as graffiti, and it's something really rebellious and against the rules. And it's appealing to me because I'm not a rebel at all, so I'm fascinated by people who are.
All right. Have you ever done graffiti?
Oh, I think the closest, I was going to say no, and then I had this like very early memory. I think the closest I've ever come to doing graffiti was I was probably about 6 or 7 years old, and I was homesick from school, and I was in my parents' waterbed because it was the 80s, like being sick, and I got really bored, and so I carved my name into the headboard of their waterbed.
Oh.
Just because I was bored, like I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, like here's a pen, and here's some like wood. Why not carve my name into their bed? And then my mom was really irritated with me.
Really? I wonder why.
Yeah, I'd completely forgotten about this. So I'd say that's the only time I would say I've ever done graffiti, but I did get in trouble for it. So I don't know. See, this had to be my confession. I think that's
All right.
what subconsciously.
You just
feels
gave a
me.
confession. My turn.
Yes.
Okay. And my parents who are in the audience right now. Hi.
Are you sure you want to do this thing?
No, they know this. So I was like 3 or 4, and we were renting at the time. And I was a bad child.
No need to convince me, Jake.
So I was put in timeout, and I'm sitting like cross-legged in front of a wall, bored out of my mind. And in my little 4-year-old head, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to carve a drawing into this wall with my teeth. So, yeah, I think it was like a stick figure that I drew with my teeth.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I'm a little messed up. Maybe there's a little lead paint in there.
Yeah, I might do a lead check. Yeah. I think you one-upped me because I did not use my teeth for mine. So
I really wonder. I really wonder what the landlord thought when they saw that.
And I think the bigger message here is to not let your kids get bored because I think we were both like similarly motivated.
I think so. I think boredom is. It leads to bad things.
It really, it does. Yeah.
So you have technically graffitied something.
Yes.
Okay.
My parents' waterbed. Yep.
Now, if for no reason, but if theoretically under the desk that I'm recording this at, I had a giant box full of cans of spray paint.
Yeah.
And I was encouraging you to go out and graffiti something and make some cool art, what would you graffiti on and what would your art be?
Wow, that's like a really good question. I wish I could give it more thought, but I'm not going to get to. So I have been, I don't know, very like pulled in the direction of like women's issues lately. So it'd probably be something having to do with that. I'd probably do like a big old goddess figure, like with the, big and curvy. And I think I would put it on, I don't know, wherever Republicans are hanging out these days. I think that would be where I'd put it. Yes.
Wow. Can you describe this goddess?
Yeah, goddess figures tend to they're round, like they're very fertile. They tend to be fertility images. So they tend to have big breasts and big hips and very curvy. So not somebody who would be a 10 by Trump standards, I'm sure.
She's a 10, I swear.
But a powerful female nonetheless. So, yes, that's what I would do.
See, you got a message with that. And a lot of graffiti has a message. Personally, you know what I'd do? I would go down to my favorite coffee shop, and I would spray paint on the side of their building a tuna and a tutu.
Yes. I like it. Approved.
I don't have like a deep political motive. I just think it'd be fun.
Well, if you'd like to do something themed on The Giver, that would, be nice.
Should I like write my 8th grade report on The Giver, like on a brick
I don't tell
wall?
people what they should do. I'm just saying it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Will that give me some brownie points years after my grade?
Yes, officially.
All right. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, just in case, the police get involved. It's not a confession.
That's a good idea.
All right. So, have you ever you've done teaching?
Yes.
Was there ever a case of graffiti in a school that you know of?
Oh, holy cow. Nothing that, I'm sure there's graffiti all over the place. Nothing that I remember. I remember having to go through the classroom where I taught you and off the desks every couple days.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I swear.
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Yeah. You have no clue how deep that digs, Jacob. No, I'd say more so disturbing, like the things that were memorable for me were the notes that I would.
The notes?
Intercept from students. Yeah.
Any juicy ones? Come
there
on.
There were some extremely juicy ones that I will not talk about publicly.
Oh.
But
use fake names.
Yeah.
Subject matter.
Yeah.
Just use Jacob.
Well,
I mean, she never said none of them were from me, so.
no, they were not fit for public consumption. I know there was one day where I was reading one during class while the kids were watching a video, and my face was shocked enough that like the entire class was like, "What did you just read?" Because I do not have a poker face. It was not in your class though, just for
Okay. Whew. I'm safe for another day. All right, so we were talking about graffiti, right? And you told me what you would do.
Yes.
What would be, in your opinion, the worst type of graffiti? So the exact opposite of what you'd want to do and where you'd want it to be. What would be the worst image, and where would it be?
Wow. I can't think of a. I guess swastikas are really bad.
Yeah, honestly, that was the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah,
too,
I mean, it seems like almost too easy of an answer, but I think just hate speech in general. I think anything that's meant to undermine somebody's value as a human and make them feel ashamed of who they are, regardless of where it is, I think that would be the worst thing.
I think officially the worst graffiti image would be an anthropomorphic swastika that's on fire stabbing a puppy.
Did you you plan that ahead of time?
Nope.
I'm guessing this was not as impromptu for you.
No, it was purely boom. See, the way I do it is I think of my answer like 2 seconds before I say it. While you're talking, I'm not even listening to you. I'm going, ooh, swastikas stabbing puppies.
See, and I'm usually a writer, so I'm used to being able to go through and refine things. So this is like an exciting experiment for me.
You don't get that second chance here. Whatever you say right now, not only can you not take it back, but there's a permanent record of it. Oh,
I know, and I might want to run for office someday. I'm like, oh, goodness. I know too much about it. I won't. But.
Oh, did you hear about that dwarf? Talking about swastikas stabbing puppies? Is she really the one you want in office?
Careful how you edit this, okay?
All right, so you mentioned what that image would be, but where? Where would be the worst place in your mind?
Or the best.
Oh, man. I'd say a school.
A school.
Yeah, just because I think that's a place where it's so important for people to feel comfortable and able to do what they're, in order to learn. And that's what they're there to do. So I think anything that makes a school feel less safe is really horrible.
I think that's a good idea to not do that. I think for my location, I'm going to say a national monument. Any of them. Come on.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
That would be bad.
Did you see the Washington Monument? Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not good.
That would not be good. I agree. Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. No one out there listening to this get any ideas, please.
Yes.
So do you have any final thoughts on graffiti?
I guess this conversation just made me think of being a student in Madison, and it brought back this memory of going to the bathroom, and they had the most intellectual bathroom graffiti at the UW-Madison campus. And I was at one of the libraries. What was the college library where it was voted one of the best places to hook up by Rolling Stone magazine or something like that when I was in college. But I was there checking out books one night, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I'm reading the messages while I'm in there, and I think it was just this very intellectual thing where they started quoting statistics back and forth to each other about water quality and world water quality compared to the United States. And I was like, wow, these are some crazy cool nerds that we have in these days.
They're gangsta nerds.
Yes.
The best type.
Yes.
For me, I'd be over there with my can of spray paint, shaking it up. Shh. Boom. Defining and explaining universal string theory. So that's the type of gangsta nerd I am.
So you turned out all right, regardless of whether you turned in your report on the giver.
I don't know if I did, actually. I think that was the defining moment in my life. I was on a crossroads, and one path, I could have been a successful business person running a Fortune 500 company, or I could be begging people for money on a podcast where I'm talking about tunas and tutus. Yeah. I don't know if I made the right choice. Do you?
I think you did. Honestly, this is a fun full circle thing for me. It's very rare I get to run into students. Now I run into you all grown up and get to talk to you on something like this. So I think it worked out the way it was supposed to.
I think so. And I sincerely hope with all of our talk of swastikas and tuna, we didn't scare anyone away from this podcast. It's a really good podcast. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's amazing. People... When I have them on the show, 2 minutes beforehand, they're like, I don't know about this. As soon as the mics are on and I start doing the intro, they're like, oh, yeah, I can get behind this. You think you had that experience?
That was very much my experience. It's scary when you don't know what you're signing up for, but it was nice having somebody to talk with. So that was good.
All right, next one you're going to have to do alone.
Really? You are so mean. You're so mean.
You know what? I blame my role models growing up, so.
Oh, wow.
Made me very facetious. See, you never taught me how to pronounce that word. Facetious.
You got it right. I claim all the credit for that.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. Seriously, this has been a blast. And for all of our listeners out there who are like, man, that was weird. I want more. They should go to www.onewordpodcast.com to check out other episodes. And you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. And I'd love to talk to people about random words. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Jacob.
Absolutely. It was great. Thank you for coming on. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.